What's going on, everyone? John here from The Real Talk, back again with another review, and that is for Split, the 2017 film directed by M. Night Shyamalan, starring James McAvoy and Anya Taylor-Joy. So, first things first, full spoilers for this film, guys. If you guys have been following my series, I went kind of backwards. I kind of went in a weird way, in M. Night Shyamalan fashion, if you will. So I reviewed Glass, so that's up in my channel. There's a non-spoiler review, so you guys are safe to check it out if you guys didn't check out Glass this weekend. And I also did an Unbreakable review, so I did Glass, Unbreakable, and then Split. It's a weird order, but anyways, so in honor of Glass coming out, that's why I revisited Unbreakable and Split. So yeah. If you guys, like I said, if you guys are following the series, and obviously, hopefully you guys seen Glass already, so that's why there's going to be a spoiler review of Split. So, but just in case you guys haven't, I mean, it's kind of given. If you guys know anything about Glass, it's kind of like, okay, well, why are they reviewing all these movies together? But anyways, just in case there's someone there who hasn't seen the film, full spoilers. Anyways, so this film actually premiered in Fantastic Fest in 2016. That's why I was kind of messed up in the beginning. I was like, wait, 2017, but it got its wider release in 2017, January 20th, I believe. I don't know, but anyways, so this film, obviously, straight out the bat, again, spoilers, spoiler warning. It's the sequel to Unbreakable, and I've always said this, that when I first saw it in theaters, I was probably like one of the only persons, like, I was like, oh my god, like I felt like the guy in Cloverfield. If you guys seen Cloverfield, they're like, oh my god. When I saw David Dunn, when I saw Bruce Willis at the end, and I was like, no way M. Night is doing this, you know. I didn't really read before that, like, while he was doing Unbreakable, he kind of intended that to be a trilogy. And obviously he kind of had his rise in fall and kind of coming back up, and so that's why I guess it took him this long to do a sequel, but I think it ended up playing in his favor. But anyways, so going back to that, what I'm trying to say is that I was really surprised, and it made Split that much better for me, a better overall experience. But if you take that out, that tag at the end, let's say it just ends with Kevin and his different personalities, you know, in the mirror, right? Let's say it just ends like that. I think personally that Split is still a fantastic film. Obviously because of the performance from James McAvoy, which I always said that, that's always what kept me coming back to the film, which is, it's true, but revisiting the film multiple times now, I believe I saw it twice in theaters, and then like multiple times when it first released. When I got the film, I watched it multiple times, and then again, obviously recently this month, in honor of Glass. It's just it kind of just dawned on me what Split is. It is a super like standalone film that it isn't really like in this modern age with all the superhero films having, you know, connections and stuff like that and continuity. I just appreciate Split because of that, because it's just such a standalone film about this guy with DID and in his struggle, obviously, and it just poses a great question and kind of telling you, hey, could this be possible? Could, you know, a human being like this be possible? Like, this is the next step of evolution. Obviously, we know from the movie, and I'm sorry, it's so unprofessional that my phone keeps going off. I should have put it on silent, but anyways, so like, he kind of made these different personalities, and it's kind of explored a little bit more in Glass as a defense mechanism of kind of from his mom and stuff like that. And obviously it just started to evolve, and he kind of got these personalities that took over at certain times that kind of benefited him. So it's kind of just an overall great story because of that. And again, James McAvoy does a great job in portraying that in the different personalities, and that's just fantastic. And again, I'm a big fan of M. Night Shyamalan because he does all sorts of like little details, and he always does this, and even in Glass. I'm watching a lot of people's reviews and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, you know what? That's right. M. Night does it again. But anyways, so in this film, he does that as well. It's just giving you little hints and clues, like going back to reviewing the movie. This movie has a lot of rewatch value, which I love in movies. When movies have that, it makes the value, I guess, go a little bit more. But anyways, so not only does it have a great amount of detail, it's a story about this guy with DID, obviously taken to the next level. And it could just seem like a dramatic film, but it also has horror elements, obviously because of the Horde, the Beast, if you will. And it's just some of those intense moments, obviously when one of the girls escapes, and he's, obviously M. Night does a great job in the tension and intensity felt in those movies, and obviously the horror aspect of this random guy just taking these three girls, kidnapped, and hostage and stuff like that. So it kind of has that going for it. And obviously later on, when you find out what the horror does, with the girls, and it has the horror thriller element along with this whole personality disorder kind of themes and messages and kind of a story. So it's just a great film overall. And Haley Lou Richardson is in this as well. Also Jessica Sula, I believe so. I'm butchering her last name, but they give fantastic performances as well. And also the older lady, I think her name is something Buckley or something like that. Betty Buckley, yeah, there you go. She does a phenomenal job as well. So, and also the score by Wes Dylan Thornton is phenomenal, and I'm so glad he came back for. Even though I love James Newton Howard's score in Unbreakable, I think Wes Dylan Thornton did a incredible job in Split and Glass as well. So the score is there as well. Cinematography wise, obviously, M. Night has a great eye in whichever DP that he uses. Obviously, they work great together. So I don't know what else to say about this film other than it's kind of, if you really look at it, it's a standalone kind of character study of this guy with all these different personality orders, and obviously there's a story behind that, obviously, that we see, and that's why that he's kidnapping these girls for the horde and stuff like that. So there's a horror thriller element of that, and just the whole vibe of this movie of Split. It does give you like an eerie vibe. It's kind of like you're uncomfortable, but at the end, and obviously with I believe her name is Casey in the film, Anya Taylor-Joy's character, she has an arc as well, and I'm so glad that some things happen. Obviously they're revealing glass and stuff like that, but there's also like a kind of a mirrored story there. How that's why obviously at the end she's kind of left alive because the beast didn't, he sees her scars and says, oh, you're broken it like me, so they have that sort of connection there, and it kind of just brings the story full circle, at least in my opinion, and also makes a great arc for Casey's story as well. And just like I said, again, thinking about all the personalities that James McAvoy had to portray when Anya Taylor-Joy, when Casey finds the files in the computer, you see him kind of just act out all these different characters. It's amazing. So I don't know what else I can say about Split other than I really enjoyed this movie. I really love it. I think this Unbreakable trilogy is one of the best out there. It has to be in the conversation of best superhero trilogy. And if you guys haven't seen Glass, highly recommend it. If you guys haven't seen Unbreakable, I highly recommend this whole series as well, guys. So it's been really fun revisiting this franchise again, and no doubt this is going to be, I'm going to do it over and over again throughout the years. So M. Night Shyamalan, thank you so much for providing us with a fantastic trilogy, kind of taking the superhero genre of nowadays and kind of flipping it on its ear and stuff like that. Watchmanizing it, that's what I said. But anyways, guys, if you guys have seen the film, let me know your thoughts on the comment section down below. If you guys want to follow us outside of YouTube, you guys can at The Real Talk with 2Ks on Twitter and Instagram. You guys can also follow us on Stardust, just at The Real Talk. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies. Peace.